And they have to have exactly Tower in hands, you know, and Ulamog. I guess we'll keep this against Luris, the Chalice. My scraping bottom play points barrel. I think I've got enough. I looked yesterday, I had like 2,000 something. But almost to 5, so probably playing Hammer. Because Stars reveal stirrings, I think I should think about it. Yeah, I don't. I really like. I guess you're right. We do. They have the Tower, but it still is just not a conversation in my mind. Don't usually love to make this play. I think we have to. It's really not a conversation. Like you have to play the Bloodsun there. I don't know what to say. Ooh, green white hammer. I didn't make out teamer last night. Not very well. I only played like a couple of matches. One of them was Doomwake against Doomwake though. Does the Bloodsun block Tron mana? It does not. Bloodsun only stops mana abilities. Alright, Furio is going to be very good next turn, I hope. Probably should have sacked the Seachrome Coast, but it doesn't matter. My mana's perfect. Go, Kaheera, go! They can attack with Paladin Mid-Might pretty easy. Guess I'll take 2. Because they just get to replay it there. Might be better to go Teferi, Cryptic Command, than Teferi this turn. Both lines seem certainly fine. Maybe should have attacked with Kaheera. Could have pitched the Fury here, but I think it's just better to hard cast. My opponent's even just conceding here. I do usually like the Hammer matchup. Yeah, so I usually bring in the 3 Wear Tears. And cut a Cryptic, a Deluge, and a Teferi. No interest in Chalice on 0. A bit more interested in Chalice on 2 later, right? Like, even if they top deck an Ornithopter or Mid-Might, it matters like 0%. Like, it does just, in that spot, doesn't matter at all, right? Like, the only cards there that matter are, like, exactly Stoneforge Mystic. That's definitely good against Hammer, or good enough against Hammer. Cool to see green-white Hammer again. I feel like this deck was like a cool flash in the pan. I never ended up testing it with the stirrings. It was on my to-do list for a little while. Cool idea for sure, though. Really want them to play Saga next turn so I can Bloodsun them. Let's ending the Sigardizade here, I think. Fix the season in command, thank you, Ghost. Scott, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Any core outfitters in the chat? Don't mind if I do. Yeah, not gonna Fury the Outfitter. I'm not that scared in the second one. Havoc, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Have a good day. It's also Twitter discourse about Genius Smith as a trap in water. I saw that post. I thought it was, I disagree. I think Smith is a good card. But you gotta, some people just have to fill their, you know, weekly, monthly quota of hot takes. I understand. It's hard out here, you know. You gotta just find something to say. Ooh, good play, good play. Havoc with the 2, and then Octo with the 4 months. So what would the meta have to be like for you to consider Test of Talents in the blue-white control list? It's really tough. I don't know that that meta exists, right? Because, like, Test of Talents is obviously good against, like, spell-based combo decks. But these spell-based combo decks basically always play... Oh, no. Man, Core Outfitter is just the nuts here. These spell-based combo decks basically always play like Force of Negation, Mystical Dispute, their own. I think I'm supposed to Valakut Awakening here, or just Fury for kill this chump block. They basically always play their own answers to like counter spells with Force of Negation, Mystical Dispute, and so in like a blue-white control list, Dovin's Veto is basically, in my opinion, always gonna be the card you'd rather play because you can, because you like Dovin's Veto can't be countered, and it just like buys you time and gets you to the late game, which is where like you're very likely to win. Free flight 19 months, appreciate you, buddy. Lurrus into the hands. Alright. Need to find Solitude white card or Prismatic Ending or Wear Tear. Missed, and we go to game 3. Geez, second outfitter was nuts. I think you need artifact lands to make Smith too. Yeah, Smith is like, I think really shines in the Fiddlebender deck with the 8 untapped artifact lands. I kind of want to play some more Fiddlebender, to be honest. How realistic is it to try to learn Hardened Scales? The worst the effort. Anybody can learn any deck with enough time and effort. Anybody can learn Hardened Scales. It is a hard deck to learn, but you can do it with enough time and effort. You know, there's also like a big difference between like mindlessly playing a deck and like trying to like actively learn how to play it and like really think hard. You know, it's really easy to just like stumble your way through a league rather than actively try to figure out what you're doing or watch content stuff. Do I like the blue-white deck that's been running around? You're gonna have to be the affinity, or the blue-white affinity deck. Because you don't have to be more specific. But yeah, so the thing about the blue-white affinity list is I spent like a long time trying to figure out that archetype too. I personally really like Stoneforge Mystic in the deck. Like Stoneforge Mystic for Nettlecyst is so strong, but if you're familiar with the Fiddlebender list I like to play, then you might be familiar with my thoughts that the Fiddlebender list is a better version of the blue-white list because your mana curve gets to be a lot lower. You get to they're all in on this outfitter. Your mana curve gets to be a lot lower. You get to be one color, and so you get to play the colorless artifact lands, which you can't play in blue-white, which I think is a very big cost to not get access to those colorless artifact lands. I think drawing Chalice, I'm going to evoke the Fury. There's a few more points to make. But yeah, it's also like you mulligan way better when you're mono white and your mana curve is a lot lower. Your mulligans with the blue-white list, I think, are not that good on average. And this is my take on the archetype, I guess. Yeah, Lurrus very good here. Untapped land would be nice. No untapped land. We do have Kaheera. So they go Lurrus, Cathar Commando. But if they don't have a mana to sack, I can maybe draw land and Fury or a red card. Awesome, perfect. Fracture in a sideboard for 60 card reanimator to answer Leyline. You have Teferi to answer Leyline. I don't think you need Fracture for specifically that. Leyline is also like a relatively uncommon sideboard card at the moment. If I play a league with reanimator, I do not expect to run into Leyline of the Void at the moment. If that is different, then obviously it becomes better to play more answers to it. But at the moment, it's just not a card I expect to see. All right, I want to know. Faster match. Any updates on Red-Green Reclaimer? I think Red-Green is just too weak to linear decks for me to be playing it at the moment. Kind of a slow hands. I think it's no companion, though. I think I'll keep. Is there a list of decks I've trophied with? Yeah, I've been keeping a record on Twitter. Yeah. I think that as a control player, as someone who really likes control decks, I think people greatly exaggerate how difficult control decks are to play. think they're really not. They're not nearly as difficult as people make them out to be. But a general good rule of thumb, though, is your pet deck is the hardest deck to play, and then your least favorite deck is the easiest deck to play. I was your real point on my 4 because of you. I'll exact my revenge if we meet again. All right, I'll see you out there in the queues. How many cards away do you think Humans is from being competitive? So here's the thing about Humans, is that Humans has gotten a staggering number of new tools lately. Imperial Recruiter, Adeline, Esper Sentinel, Hamlet Vanguard are all very viable and very powerful options for the Humans decks to be employing. I think I'm gonna cycle the ice then play Flagstones. And so I think Humans is oh, okay, I guess I'm waiting on the Lotus Field. Humans was, in my opinion, a deck that was had a stock list that was clearly the best way to build it for a while. For a while, I feel like it was the case that there was a relatively stock build of Humans. It was pretty reasonable to build it the standard way, and now it's and now there are so many different ways to build it that it is kind of a nightmare. I've worked on it. I personally have liked recently playing Ranger Captain as a way to hedge against the Cascade decks, which I think are your worst matchups as Humans. But that's the issue, and it is also true that even Humans is a hard deck to build. I think if it's built well and you're in the trenches grinding it and playing it, you will find success. That being said, Humans is still not the best deck to play probably, even if you are spending that time to learn it, you know. So that is also kind of the issue that a lot of specialized deck pilots have, is that they spend a lot of time mastering and tuning a list for a meta. I think I'll just Fury the Liliana down to 1. They'll spend a lot of time tuning a list for a metagame, piloting it, trying to figure out the best way to build it. And they will get good, and they will be a force to be reckoned with. But it's also still not necessarily going to be the best deck they could possibly play, if that makes sense. I think becoming at peace with that is very important as well. What about Enchantress? Enchantress is a really weird deck where it has Enchantress is a deck just full of nothing but polarizing matchups. Enchantress, I personally feel is not a very fun deck to play. I know that fun is perhaps difficult to quantify, but I feel Enchantress has really repetitive games and is just generally something I think a lot of people are not interested in, because you're mostly just playing solitaire. What happened to Scales? Hardened Scales is quietly a great deck in Modern, but Hardened Scales has also gotten a lot of new tools lately, and is very difficult to play. Ooh. But yeah, I think Scales is quietly one of the best decks in the format. Urza Saga, Esper Sentinel, and Zabaz are all great upgrades for the deck. The deck is just a nightmare to master. It is maybe the hardest deck to play in Modern, and so I think that players who are piloting Scales like Mr. Sari are having a really good time with it, but it is just a really hard deck to play perfectly. And it's also a hard deck to play a lot of too. It's even if you're really good at Scales, your brain power is going to be draining pretty quick, I think. I was playing a little bit of it off stream the other day. I think I feel I'm at the point where I can pilot Scales proficiently, but I'm not close to being a master or anything. But I feel I'm about proficient with the deck. Some lucky draws. I mean, yeah, but it's also when you're top decking against Jund, right? And you have 12 5-drops in your deck, and you have all the you have 12 5 you have the full 8 incarnations, 4 Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, 4 Cryptic Command, 4 Memory Deluge. You're gonna out top deck Jund. What can I say? You know, it's like you're just gonna out top deck Jund in this matchup. Your top decks are so much better than your opponents. But they were some lucky draws, yeah. Yeah, I try to answer as many questions as I can. It's really matter to me if you're subbed or not, if I can help somebody learn. Alright, so we want to play the second Flagstones first, because the Flagstones ability is turned off after Blood Sun. Plug Great Elf into Alpine Moon. So we're not going to be casting Awakening Digging for Lotus Field this turn. I think I still want to Awakening because I really need to find another blue source, to be honest. I'm going to put back, I think, Plains, Cryptic. Maybe not enough cards. Okay. And once we can get rid of the Alpine Moon, once we find a Prismatic Ending, these Lotus Fields are going to be great. Goalie with the gifted sub, thank you so much. And Chocolate with the 10 months. Appreciate you guys. Ah! Your Majesty, I'm sorry to be playing against you today. I'm sorry, Clothis. I have to exile you. I take no pleasure in this. I could bounce the Alpine Moon. I think I'm not going to do that this turn. Just cast the Fury. Deal 2/2. Elohim, 7 months, Trophy Race, Scoper. Oh, yeah. It's been really exciting. It's pretty good. We do still prevent the ultimate, which is nice. Alright, Rin 6 down. Just gonna hold up Cryptic here. Bounce Alpine and Chalice on 1. I don't think I'm supposed to do that immediately. Not a bad line. I think I like waiting till end of turn. So I think we cast Kaheera with Cryptic up here, and that way the Endurance just doesn't have a good block. Can't even Veil because you have the Chalice. Alright, we lost at 2-0 last round to Tron, which you usually find is a good matchup, but 4-1 with Lotus Field today, feeling pretty good about the deck. Keep this. Everyone's playing Luris. What deck do you think is a good answer to all the Jin stuff creeping out lately? You're gonna have to be like a little bit more specific, man. You can take a look at what I've been trophying with lately, but the comments like that are kind of tough to answer, man. Like I don't know exactly what you're referencing. Playing Blue White Snowblade this weekend. In Chains does Makerman environment without hammer. Surprised that there is an environment without hammer. I'm not sure exactly. Alright, second Reclaimer. Reclaimer, I hardly knew her. How is this for some fire design? This person is running Black Grid Rock, no red. Maybe. How do you know? Cool, thank you with 5 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Bloodsun should be pretty good here. Yeah, because like the most common of this variant is John, so I'm kind of surprised we're so sure it's just black-green, right? Get a Saga. Saga goes to the graveyard and grows the Reclaimers. This deck has been popularized on YouTube. It's just black-green. Okay. I mean, but the John Saga list has been very popular too. I do think that my opponent's only played green land, red lands so far, but my opponent just went Blooming Marsh Reclaimer, which could just be the Jund variant, so I'm surprised that Chad is like so confident about it. They can't crack that fetch land as long as Bloodsun's in play. I don't know. This happens a lot where Chad is like very confident my opponent's playing like a particular build of a list. I just like not confirmed yet, you know. Was a good all-around deck to take the SCG at Dallas in April. It's too far away to know. Yeah. Anybody that can tell you they can predict the modern metagame 3 months out is just they're just lying to you or they're out of touch. I don't know. You can't really. I have 71 out of 75 cards. I better know what the other 4 are. I know that Ragavan's really important to the list. Yeah, I would recommend playing I usually play 18 lands. If you're not already playing 19 lands, play 19 lands. You can play like third Kroxa if you have it. There's a lot of options you have. Like third Kroxa, first Snapcaster Mage. But generally I would recommend just being more of like an interactive deck instead of trying to play like underpowered creatures. Like there are plenty of good like answers you can play. Like you can play like 1 extra discard spell, one extra removal spell. Oh, they're gonna get Saga here? Yeah, if they get Saga, they actually get to save their Reclaimers. It's actually kind of interesting. Good line. Inquisition, more like Brickquisition. I think I'll trade. Then on Cycle Triome and Cryptic. Or I guess, or Flashback Deluge. Please don't accuse my opponent of ghosting. They said they're leaving the stream. We'll assume that they did. Trading 1 drop for 5 drop, is that a good exchange in modern? No, but sometimes you have to take bad exchanges. Right? Like I gotta protect my life total. I have a Deluge in my yard. I've got a Cryptic Command in my hand. I have the inevitability in the late game. So like making trades to get to the late game is just something I'm interested in here. I think Awakening here. It's kind of close between this and Deluge, but this has the higher upside. Upside achieved. Could play the Flagstones so that I have access to Solitude. I do lose the other Flagstones though without getting the trigger because there's one set in play, but I think that's fine. I think we're enough ahead. Yes, they're playing black. Yeah, they're playing black green rock Spike. Spike, they're playing black green rock. There's like a dozen commons. Spike, they're just black green. They're just black green. I'm like, I don't know, chat. I kind of feel like the Jund version's more popular at the moment. We're not sure they're black green. Spike, I'm telling you, they're just black green. you gotta believe me, Spike. Like, they might have been black green there, but it wasn't a for sure thing, you know. It just wasn't confirmed yet. Wait, that must be a visual bug, yeah. Actually checks out. Put the third Chalice in the play. I think I'll trim one on the draw. Might trim a Fury on the draw too. Second Wear Tear on the draw. Don't think I want this mini Wear Tears on the play though. But on the draw, just like killing Saga's kind of nice. Homie Lemon, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you. Contact survived when I was down with COVID last week. Congratulations on your recovery. How'd you like the stream? Yeah, oh, they bored into black green. I see. Hot rock. No, like the Jund Reclaimer list has been really popular. Did I see any red cards? I saw Stomping Ground. If they don't, maybe yeah, you're right. Maybe they don't have enough black green lands. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know, but this happens a lot where chat will like be convinced that they're playing a version of a deck, but we just don't have that full information yet. And so I think this is a good learning lesson that it's good to wait until you see a card that definitely means one thing or the other. A good learning lesson. Is Jund Saga as good as other Ragavan decks like Black Red, Shadow as a Murktide? I feel like Jund Saga has a rough time against linear decks that are not graveyard based, okay, especially compared to Grixis Shadow, Murktide, or Rakdos. I think that it struggles the most against like Tron and Belcher. Oh, I guess it doesn't have main deck Needle for Belcher. I think Jund Saga also I think is the worst of those decks against like 4-color Omnath too. Obviously, it's capable of winning all these matchups, but I feel like Jund Saga is like the best deck for the Ragavan mirrors, and then like the worst against like the rest of the field. But it's not like drastic crazy percentage points. How do you feel about keeping this hand on the draw, chat? I know you guys don't want to, but we're against Jund Saga. It's kind of hard to mulligan. We have 26 lands in the deck, so we're very likely to find a second land by turn 2. And we have Prismatic Ending, Chalice, Solitude. I feel like this hand is a keep. It's very close. I feel like please don't. I mean, I know that you guys like, oh, it's a 1-lander, just mulligan. 20. Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. 26 lands before Lotus Field. But if we draw Lotus Field in another land, it's very good. I think this hand is a keep. I don't know what to say. Like, it's hard matchup to mulligan in. We have 3 castable spells. I guess really just 2, because shouldn't count the second Solitude as a castable spell. 1 land lets us Chalice, which is good in this matchup too. I think it's a keep. I don't know if it's the same. Yeah, 1 land equals 1 keep. Can't argue with that math. Put moles to 6 here. No, sorry, they had the bubble. Who said it? Who said it? Listen, we just draw a land here. Easy! Free for the bead! Let's go! Good keep, good keep, good keep. Great keep? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Hey, Dom, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate you. I'm actually kind of salty. I don't know what to say. Again, obviously, like, this hand was a greedy keep, right? But the upside was absolutely here. The upside was absolutely here, and this is a hard matchup to mulligan aggressively in, because they're just like, they're so mana efficient. They have so many like 1 mana 1-for-1s. It's hard to like mulligan in this matchup. We're a 26 land deck on the draw. We have early interaction. I think it's just a keep. I think. I'm gonna take this so I can go Blood Sun Kaheera. Pitch the Kaheera to exile this. Viewers hate him. Learn Aspiring Spikes one weird trick to keep one-landers. Yeah, exactly. Like I think like with a hand that's like likely to get there, we're on the draw 26 land deck, with a very high upside hand. Like I think it's just like yeah, you're just like in a spot to like get paid off there. I think. I'm just gonna take a draw. Obviously, this Ren is a big problem. Okay, we can deal 2 damage to this. So I can go Teferi, Hardcast. Can I go Teferi, Hardcast, Solitude, Fire Ice? I have 6, 7, 7, and then Teferi untaps 4, so 11 mana. So 5, 10, 12. I'm 1 short. 4 plus 3, 7. Untap 4, 11. Yeah, 1 short. Probably still best to... Oh, I shouldn't have played my land, obviously. I could draw that Lotus Field. The Tarmogoyf is a 4/5, so I'm gonna bounce it, I think. And then I've got a Chalice on 1. I have Chalice for Veil Summer, so I don't need to like wait, or I don't need to do it like main phase or anything. I think. Is the Red Ultimate scary with Chalice? Like it is scary if they just have like these lists like often play Assassin's Trophy. These lists often play Kolagun's Command. And obviously, they might just not have those cards, but I think the most likely way we lose this game is my opponent ultimates Ren and they have an Assassin's Trophy. I think that is the most likely path to defeat, and so I'm going to try to not walk down that path. Ray, 2 months, appreciate ya. Second Goyf. Don't appreciate the second Goyf. Yeah, I can't Fury the Goyf. Should probably play out a Fury. See, I think I have enough mana to cycle Blood Sun first, though, easily. It's a very bounce Ren, tap team and upkeep. Well, once like with the Blood Sun in play, the Ren 6 doesn't do very much unless it ultimates, and so I feel like I liked my line a bit more. Immediately plays Saga. Saga immediately dies. Oh, but grows the Goyf. Good play. Actually. Good play. Six, 7 Goyfs. Great play, even. I'm going for a double block here. Yeah, what doesn't die, or... What doesn't grow, dies, and what dies grows the Tarmogoyf. They have 8 cards in their hand. Chalice, Blood Sun likely locking them out for most of the way. Anybody see this line? Yeah, good job if you saw it. That's a really important line to keep in the back of your head when you play this deck. Bounce your Valakut Awakening, draw a new hand. Valakut Awakening is so freaking good in this deck. But I think my opponent has fetch lands and 1-drops in their hands. Fetch lands, sagas, 1-drops. I think this is going to be the classic show my opponent all the 1-mana spells I have. Ah. Oh boy. Alright, 3-0. 5-1 on the day with Lotus Field. Feels good. I feel like Tutors usually has a bad matchup against Lotus Field. Usually feel pretty good against Yawgmoth. Tutors also plays like a decent amount of like mill, but none of lures here. Vampire Pox? Maybe. Tutors equals Yawg. No, Tutors plays a lot of different decks. He might be on Yawg now, but it's like Tutors is more than just like the Yawgmoth guy. He might be playing Yawgmoth right now though. No, he's playing Rhinos. Rhinos matchup is decent. Got a lot of Chalices. I think I played out here. Let's try to close the window for them to draw a Force. So you're supposed to play Flagstones in this spot, so that if next we did this earlier actually. So if you draw Flagstones next turn, you get to Legend Rule the Flagstones didn't play Blood Sun. Whereas if you draw Flagstones after Blood Sun's in play, Tutors with the one lander getting Chaliced and getting Blood Sunned. Rough stuff. Wait, why did Tutors keep a 1-lander? Roll the 6 on the play or draw. Pay Dr. Spike. Pay Doctor. I'm not even looking at the chat. Is it bad, Spike? I think he might have been a paid actor. I'm just gonna get a brand new hand here. No Lotus Field, sad. Spike confirmed fake friendship with Tutors. Oh yeah. He knew what this was. It was all a ploy. All this me being nice to Tutors and watching a stream and forming a friendship. It was all a ploy so that I could challenge to avoid him when I'm 3-0. Wasn't like really that good of a plan, to be honest. Doesn't really make much sense. We have 3 Chalice main deck. And a lot of incarnations. It's a Prismatic Command. Bone Crusher. Please don't crush my bones, Tutors. I need those. Tara, thank you for that 1 year. It has been a year, huh? And what a year it's been. All the other Kataras are imposters. Always have been. Yellow hats. Yellow hats. Da 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 da. Thank you for the raid, Yellow Hat. Good time to raid too. We're 3-0 and we're playing game 1 against Demonic Tutors. Playing some Jeskai Lotus Field today. Currently 5-1 on the day with Lotus Field. Adam, thank you for the 6-month reset. Appreciate you, buddy. I'll just cycle this. Could maybe Kaheera it instead. Doesn't really matter probably. I think Tutors is about to Prismatic Command kill my Chalice, and I'm about to just go play a second Chalice. If you're not following Yellow Hat, what are you doing? Yellow Hat, the greatest of all time. My personal mentor. If you're not... You gotta put... he's carrying us, bruv. He's literally carrying us. You don't even understand what he's doing for us. Or done for us. My streamer has literally got the biggest fucking hat on him. I fucking love him. Fourth Force of Negation should come in handy in this matchup. Think about it. Yeah, think about it. I think this is the sideboard plan. Cut the Fire Ices, 2 Endings, bring in the Forces and the Nexus. I do usually like Nexus in this matchup. Yeah, I haven't played the Harry clip in a while. Is this the deck I have the most fun playing? I have a lot of fun playing it. It's hard to quantify fun. Like, recently the Boros...
He's revolutionized it. Look at him, averaging 800 fucking viewers in the Magic the Gathering category. He's carrying us. He's got a fucking hitchhiking backpack. And he's literally carrying the shit out of us. I'm literally here, going live at fucking 8 p.m. praying that
Yellow Hat
he's alive. Because I know that he's carrying this fucking category. He's literally carrying us. Think about it. My guy has literally got the biggest fucking
hat
on him to carry the fuck out of this fucking category. Magic Lion's dying because once he don't give a shit.
Yellow Hat is doing his work.
He's fucking doing it. He's doing it, bro. You don't even understand what he's done for us. Literally, my guy has revolutionized what the fuck we're doing. I fucking love him. People don't give him the respect that he deserves. Fucking respect.
Yellow Hat.
If you don't put him fucking respect to his name, I'm gonna slap you.
Somebody clip that. I hope that turned out as good as I think it did. So we're a 6-card hand with Chalice, but our curve is just waiting at the mulligan this. See, I don't keep every one-lander, chat. Just the good ones. Got a violent outburst, huh? Oh, Tutors also brought in Blood Moon, I think. It's pretty good if it resolves. It does resolve. Was Foundry not correct his first lands? So I really want to play the Flagstones as the second land with this hand, right? I have to force this. I really want to play the Foundry as the second land. Is kind of the thing, or the Flagstones as the second land. So if I end up like drawing a hand that makes me not want to play Lotus Field on turn 3, then playing out the Seachrome Coast ends up being better, right? Okay, we've got some good draws. Fury, Cryptic Command, Solitude's okay. Teferi's okay if we draw into something, maybe. Memory Deluge is probably okay, a little slow in this spot. Force of Vigor, pitch Force of Vigor. Bah. Always game 3, maybe? Copium. this is like a kind of the saddest planes ever because we know Tutors brought in Blood Moon, so I'm like, I'll get the planes, but it's not like this ever matters. Yeah, we kind of need to draw like Cryptic, like go Teferi and the Cryptic here, and have Tutors not have counterspell. Suspend Rhinos. That's like kind of best case scenario. This could also just be Crack Islet. It is Crack Islet. All right, Cryptic Commander busts, I guess. Trying to think about any. Yeah, I don't think any other card really does anything. No verdicts in the deck. Spike, you thought about putting Verdict in the deck? I don't know, man. Seems like it could be pretty good here. So Tutors has Force of Negation. Alright, game 3. You don't like Flusterstorm? Okay, please don't. I'm playing against Rhinos. I understand that, like, you're like, chat, Spike, there's sideboard cards you could have here that are good against Rhinos. You don't like Flusterstorm? I'm a Chalice of the Void deck. It's like, you don't need as many sideboard cards for Rhinos when you play Chalice, in my opinion. I might put some Fire Ice on the play. Maybe do this on the play. I don't know. Fire Ice is kind of weak. It's like only good really on turn 2. Yeah, Ragavan maybe Ragavan on the play. The problem is like you still have to like leave in Bone Crushers and stuff to kill it. I think I'm just gonna submit this plan. That you left a Bone Crusher? I think you have to leave in Bone Crusher, yeah. It's also true, like, this deck isn't always, like, casting Ragavan on turn 1 when you have it. You don't have that many untapped red sources, but, like, the idea is, like, it's, like, Belcher and Tron. Like, Ragavan's really good on turn 2 still. Spike, you mentioned store on CP stream. That game we had 100 burn. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I remember that. That was a great game. Is Wear Tear something we want to against Blood Moon? Kind of just hoping to Force of Negation Blood Moon, to be honest. It's just so tough to, like... Like, one of the biggest strengths about Rhinos is obviously the fact that they have so many different angles of attack. They've got their counter magic, and they've got their Blood Moon, and they've got their Rhinos. And, like, what's nice about Force of Negation is kind of good against those. All those things, Wear Tear is, like, can be close to a dead card sometimes. Just hard to try to fight on all fronts, you know? Do not ice me. Thank you. So may turn off fetch land for Tutors, which is pretty important. Oh, did not fetch in response. Is this a Force of Vigor and it doesn't matter? I think this is a Force of Vigor. Do get a 3-for-1 off of it if it is. Could just be a oh no, I can't believe. Yeah, I think Tutors was the paid actor all along, huh? Tutors was the paid actor all along. To be fair, like, you don't play against Bloodstone that often. It's kind of easy to make that mistake. How Anchor Tools recommend a sideboard card? I think it's like the best card you can play in that spot, but it's not like the deck just doesn't function without it, right? I think I just let this resolve and just replay it. I guess this unlocks the Misty, but the problem with forcing this is, like, I don't have that 0 mana force up on my opponent's turn next turn, which I feel like is so important here. I also get to draw an extra card here, which is nothing. Suspend 2. If Tutors plays Charlotte's Agent here, am I supposed to counter? I kind of think I'm just supposed to Fury. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to Fury. And then I can, like, Fury, kill a token. I might force the second Rhinos. We'll see what we draw. I think Lutri to the main. Lutri is a weak card. You don't want to add it to the main of the Lutri deck. I know that sounds kind of funny, but Lutria is not a very strong card. If I force this, I lose to Blood Moon. I think I'm supposed to save the Force. Kind of tough, but I can't, like, I could trade a Rhino, ending a Rhino. They're not that head on board. I'm pretty ahead on cards and maybe mana. Excuse me. Need to draw Lotus Field pretty badly. No attacks. Okay, surprising. And no plays, also surprising. Collegian first. Well, if they're not going to attack with the agent, is what I was thinking. Ice my White Sayer, so I can't ending. It's a good play. I think I'm going to Valakut Awakening here. Put back Nexus, Deluge, Awakening. I think I'll keep the ending and the Force. Let's go! What a draw. Putting back Deluge seems super risky. Well, you gotta sometimes risky for the biscuit, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I should put Kaheera to hand. Okay, we can take 6. Need to fade Blood Moon plus Dispute. Fuck! Damn it! Oh, fuck. It's not game over, but it's probably is. Could draw Fury, I guess. Awakening helps some. Did draw Fury. Come on, Furies. You're my only hope. Can't cast the Borrower. They play 4 Footfalls. Prismatic Command? Make a treasure, draw 2, discard 2. This will let them cast the Borrower. So I have 4 Furies in the deck, right? So 2 more. Am I supposed to kill both agents or kill a Rhino? Probably kill a Rhino, right? Island's not the worst draw. Doesn't really unlock that many cards, but it's like step 1 to unlocking some. Sarah, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you. No one cares? What is it? What are you no one caresing? Do you have any outs to Moon? We have Prismatic Ending. I guess no more endings, actually. It's a Fairy minus. Is there a reason for no Wear Tear, even though we have Blood Moon? Well, again, the thing is, it's like, Rhinos attacks from so many angles. They have counter magic, they have their Rhinos, they have their runes. My plan was just to have 4 Force of Negations for Moon. And we did force the Moon, but they had Dispute up. It's just, like, very easy to, you know... It's very easy in this matchup to like just draw the wrong answer, and like I think it's just fine to get got by Moon sometimes, and like you have Force of Negation as like a better answer to it. Is the idea, I think. Do you have Awakening? We should have 1 more in the deck. Borrower Series. They can't cast it. They don't have double blue at the moment. We do have a Plains in the deck. We have another island as well. Coping a little bit, I guess. Do you think it's fine to get got by Blood Moon game 3 all 3-0? What do you want? What do you want you to do? Like, it's like it's also like when Blood Moon comes down, you're not always gonna have the white mana to kill the Blood Moon. They can have Force of Negation to protect their Blood Moon sometimes. It's also like drawing a dead card if they're not on the Blood Moon draw is a huge cost to this matchup, and it's just like you have other answers to the Moon too. Like this is how I think you should approach the matchup. I think us being 3-0, obviously it sucks to get got by Blood Moon, but you just can't be that like that's not a good argument. I feel I think that your argument needs to be more along the lines of like this is how I think you should sideboard instead. It's like I have to have untapped white mana and Wear Tear in hand when they do Blood Moon. It's not like how many Wear Tears do you play even? It's like you guys. It's just really not that simple. I probably have to trade Fury for Rhino here. Yeah, it's just hindsight bias. BMX for 13 months, appreciate ya. It's not like it's like Wear Tear is a companion that I just get to have as soon as Blood Moon enters the chat. Dead. Okay. I didn't sideboard in Ragavan. Obviously, I think you can. Feels bad. Lotus Field is going pretty well today. Let's do one more. Yeah, GG Tutors.